Hey everyone, if you're a junior Java developer preparing for interview, you are in the right place. In this video, I will talk you through some of most common Java interview questions and how to answer them like a pro. Whether you are applying for the first job or just want to boost your confidence, these questions will help you stay ahead of the competitions. Let's get started. What is Java and why is it popular? Java is a write once, run anywhere programming language. Java programs are written once and can run on any device with JVM, Java Virtual Machine. This allows Java code to run on different operating systems, Windows, macOS, Linux without modification. Because Java compiles the code into bytecode that is executed by the JVM on any platform. Extensive library support. Java provides a huge standard library, which includes a wide variety of classes and methods for developers to use. For example, Java's JavaUtils package contains useful data structures like ArrayList, HashMap, HashSet, which make development easier. Good performance. Java is optimized for high performance with features like garbage collection and just-in-time compiler, which provides runtime performance by compiling bytecode to native code during execution. Multithreading supports. Java makes it easy to manage multithreads of execution, making it an ideal choice for concurrent or parallel applications. What are the basic data types in Java? Java has 8 basic primitive data types. Each occupies a different amount of memory and is used for different purposes. Byte 8-bit takes up very little space, short 16-bit signed integer, int 32-bit, this is the most commonly used type, long 64 used for larger numbers, float 32-bit, used for number with decimal point, double is same but for 34-bit decimal numbers, char 16-bit characters store a single character, boolean hold true or false. How does the exception handling work in Java? There are 2 types of exceptions in Java: checked exceptions, unchecked exceptions. Checked exceptions, these are compile time exceptions that the compiler forces you to handle. Examples include I/O exceptions, SQL exceptions. You must either handle them with a try-catch or declare them with rows. Unchecked exceptions are runtime exceptions. For example, arithmetic exceptions, null pointer exceptions, etc. They are not checked by compiler and occur during runtime. What is the difference between overloading and overriding in Java? Overloading occurs when the multiple methods have the same name but different parameters, either number or type. The method must differ by the number of parameters or the type of the parameters. Overriding occurs when a subclass provides a specific implementation of a method already defined in its superclass. This is essential for polymorphism. What is the role of the final block in exception handling? Final block is used to ensure that certain block is always executed, whether an exception is thrown or not. This is typically used for resource cleanup, such as closing files, network connections, or database connections. What is the difference between interface and abstract class in Java? For interfaces, only contains abstract methods. A class can implement multiple interfaces. For abstract class, can contain both abstract or concrete methods. A class can only extend one abstract class. What does a static keyword mean? Can you override static and private methods in Java? Static methods can be called without creating an instance of the class. Static methods cannot be overridden because they belong to the class, not an object. Private methods also cannot be overridden because they are not visible to the subclasses. What do you know about big O notations? Big O is used to describe the time complexity of an algorithm. Big O allows us to compare efficiency of algorithms. For example, an algorithm with time complexity ON is faster than one with ON square for large input size. What is JDBC? Java Database Connectivity. functionality. JDBC is an API, Application Programming Interface, that allows Java application to interact with databases. It provides a standard interface for connecting to relational databases, executing SQL queries, and processing the result. What is the difference between errors and exceptions in Java? Errors represent serious issues that are always outside the control of the program. Out-of-the-memory error or Stack Overflow error. These are typically not handled by the application. Exceptions represent conditions that can be handled by the program, such as I/O exception, null pointer exception. These are expected and can be managed by using try-catch blocks. Explain the binary search algorithm. Binary search is a search algorithm that finds the position of a target in a sorted array. It works by divided the search interval half and comparing the target with the middle element of the array. If target is smaller, search the left half. If target is larger, search the right half. How does HashMap works in Java? HashMap stores key-value pair and uses a hashing mechanism to determine where the key-value pair will be stored in memory. When retrieving a value, it uses the case hash code to find the correct location. To make HashMap work efficiently, you must override equivalent hash code methods in your custom classes. What is Autoboxing and Unboxing? Autoboxing, converting a primitive type to its corresponding wrapper class, int to integer. Unboxing, converting a wrapper class object back to a primitive type. What is the difference between processes and threads? A process is an independent execution with its own memory space and resources. A thread is a lightweight unit of a process. Multiple threads within a process share the same memory space. Processes are independent and not share memory. Thread shares memory space with a process. Threads are more efficient than processes because they share resources. What is the difference between HashMap and HashTable? The main differences is thread safety. HashTable is thread safe, meaning it can be safely accessed by multiple threads. HashMap is not thread safe, but it's faster because it doesn't need synchronization. Although HashTable is thread safe, HashMap is preferred in most cases because of performance. If thread state is needed, it's recommended to use concurrent HashMap.